one of my favorite movement forms, which is hooping. As you can see, I've got my Big Mama Ursula hoop here. I did not make this one. So a favorite maker of mine here in Austin, Kim Austin on Insta. I'll link her below. She makes beautiful, beautiful hoops here in ATX. This is one of my first hoops that I really found success with, and as you can see, it's pretty stinking large. Unfortunately, like a lot of other things, hula hooping has been kind of invaded by diet culture. There's become a focus within the hooping practice of getting smaller and smaller and smaller hoops to showcase your hooping prowess. And let's just be honest, that is 100% rooted in fat phobia. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna talk about hooping on big old mama hoops. So this one is about, I think it's like a 46, and it comes up to my chest. I'm about 5'3", so that can help you measure. If you're pretty tall, you probably want a taller hoop. If you're brand new to hooping, I absolutely, positively recommend that you get a big hoop, and probably bigger than most hoop makers are gonna say is the size that you need. Yeah, so that's my number one tip, is get a big sucker. And then if you're new to hooping, probably you'll get your big hoop, you'll be like, yes, it's magic, and then you do it, and then this is what happens. And it's like that video of that girl and the aisle, you know, the gift, you know, it's like that. Don't worry, that's gonna happen a lot. So my number one tip when you first start hooping is to practice your flat spin and stand still and feel how it moves around your body. So when I say flat spin, what will happen a lot, and particularly with these bigger hoops, is you'll get the hoop and you'll press it into your back, and then it's kind of listing to one side, or it's dropping forward. So when I spin that, that's already not gonna spin evenly, and it's gonna make my life a bit more difficult. So I wanna press it in to the place I wanna hoop around. So in this case, I'm hooping around my waist. So I'm going kind of into the small of my back a little bit higher around my natural waist. And then I wanna look and make sure that it looks flat. If you are hooping in a small space like me, I also wanna do my patented, I'm not gonna take anything out, turn around. And then I'm gonna give it, I'm gonna like to rear up. And you can also make sure that you try both sides, because I was going the opposite way from what I found out was my best current when I first started, just because someone told me to. So rear up, choose a side, and then here's the tricky part though. I'm gonna try and be still. I'm gonna push. I'm gonna see how it feels rolling around my body. Let's do that one more time. Boop. So you can feel the hoop connects to your whole entire body. So it's gonna hit every part where it's going around. So what I wanna do is I wanna lean in to some of those major connection points. Now, I can't try to hit every single one. That's when you get like this weird circular motion that is actually not what you wanna do when you're hooping. It's more of a back and forth motion. I also invite you to experiment with what your feet are doing. For me, I found that staggering the feet with a heel up, like a fighting stance, because that's a thing I'm used to, gave me kind of the best leverage, and I had the most success hooping. If with 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, I'm kind of finding my connection points on a diagonal. So in my case, my right foot is back. So when the hoop is on the back plane of the body, I'm gonna pop the right side of my back into the hoop. And then when the hoop, or my left foot is forward. So when the hoop is on the front side of my body, I'm gonna pop the left side of my waist on the front into the hoop. So at first, the bigger hoop is gonna go slower. So that's one of the reasons the bigger hoop is gonna be a little bit easier. So I like to start by pressing that connection point right where I'm feeling it, and then go. I just hit my chair. But I'm going back and forth on a diagonal. And when you first start, you're like, I got it. It's happening. It's going great. And then, oh no. And that will happen over and over again. And it will happen once you get good at it too. Normalize dropping your toys, okay? And then once you, oh no, I'm in the bad spot. Once you find that rhythm, then the next game I invite you to play is to keep it going for some lengths of time. Now, here's the thing, is there's a whole world of hooping maneuvers out there. And we get fair, when you hear people, you know, like, I hooped for an hour today. Were they doing this for an hour? Probably not. I was like, ugh, okay. It's fun, but it gets a little old. So, once you have the basic back and forth maneuver down, or whether or not you actually have the basic back and forth maneuver down, hold the phone. Things that can help you with your hoop stamina, keep the hoop going for longer, and help you figure out how to move your body is to do some targeted hooping practice. So with that I mean, the hoop is going to move around the part of your body that it's touching. For most of us, the waist, rib cage to top hip is going to be the easiest part. If you can break that down a little bit more and really think about hooping around the solar plexus, the mid-waist, and the navel as 3 separate things, that might help you with your hooping prowess and getting your stamina going. So again, I'm gonna rear up. This time I'm thinking there's a band around my navel, and so I'm pushing into that spot. And now I wanna think there's a band around my natural waist, so I'm pushing into that spot. And now I want to think there's a band around my solar plexus, so I'm pushing into that spot. Depending on your anatomy, solar plexus might end up looking more like your chest. And chest hooping is fun, but is a little bit of a different kind of ball game. It might be something you discover naturally, you know. But we're really thinking ribs to top hip. We're trying to break that into 3 sections, yeah. So back again. Boop. I'm around. Oh, no. Navel. Stop it. Stop it. I have a crick in my floor. Around the navel. And then around the mid-waist. It's the part that's moving. And then around the solar plexus. And it may be that you try this and it's just this. It's just staying around the same place. That's also fine. When you have these thicker hoops, sometimes, and if you're shorter too, sometimes that spacing is maybe not going to come out the same. But these are just some drills you can try to help you work on your hoop stamina. So my recommendation is to choose one song, really rockin', fun song, whatever that is for you, your favorite. Grab your hoop, give it a whirl, and just keep going for as long as you can while that song is rocking out. If the hoop drops, pose it, pick it up, right back at you. Happy hooping! Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, hit that little bell, check out our merch, and remember, diet culture is a tool of the patriarchy.